Hi, welcome to Metdia Corporation. My name is Scott Britton, and today I will be demonstrating my company's exciting new Gemology software application, MetdiaGem, for iOS, Android, and Windows 8 smartphone devices. In this video, I will be demonstrating the Android version of MetdiaGem. If you have an iOS or Windows 8 phone device, you may see a demonstration of MetdiaGem for both by going to www.metdia.com/product/MetdiaGem. In addition, the demonstration for the Windows 8 phone version includes a look at the new interface taken from suggestions from users like yourself that both the iOS and Android versions will incorporate in the near future. I know you're eager to see MetdiaGem in action, so let's get started.
After downloading MetdiaGem from Google Play or Amazon, go to the home screen on your device, select Applications, and click the Applications icon. Upon doing this, the application will begin downloading its data files. Now, this may take up to several minutes depending on your device network and hardware because the files are 251 megabytes. Android requires executable applications to be under a certain file size, and a majority of Android apps use some alternate method of downloading data files to keep the main application under this threshold. Why Google places this threshold on application bundle size, I'm not exactly sure, because it creates a fragmented experience for our users, but they do. As a side note, you may track the progress of the data files download by clicking the Home button on the device, going into the device settings, clicking the Application Manager, scrolling down and clicking MetdiaGem, and refreshing periodically. Normally, I refresh every so often by hitting the back button and then clicking the application icon. So we do not have to wait needlessly. I'm going to temporarily pause the video here for a moment while the app's data files download on this device. Now that I've gotten the data files downloaded, we can get started. When we designed MetdiaGem, we used the principle of drill down in determining how we were going to deliver information to you. We chose to go from the most general of information to the most specific of information in as few steps as possible and in the most logical fashion so that you could quickly find the information you needed. I'm not going to rattle about every single piece of information the software has because you would probably find this very boring, and you can read about that on our product homepage. What I am going to do is show you how to use the app to find information and find it quickly, although I will swipe slowly so you may see the information it does contain on its different screens. Let's open the navigation drawer by swiping from the left edge of the screen toward the top to the right. In some versions of Android, you may click the icon for MetdiaGem in the title bar, and this will open and close the navigation drawer. You can see that we have 7 menu choices: species, variety, melting temperatures, common specific gravities, weight converter, glossary, and about. We will cover the first 6, with the last one being information about the app itself. Clicking on the species row, we see a list of gem species names. Normally, information brought up in this fashion in MetdiaGem will be in alphabetical order. Let's select corundum by swiping upward from the bottom of the screen to the top and rolling the list down the alphabet until we reach corundum. Clicking on it causes corundum species detailed information home screen to be displayed. Now that we are on corundum species detail information home screen, you can see that it lists your standard species information from top to bottom. 3 things I want to note here. 1, you may see a little icon that looks like a blue arrow inside a yellow circle, like the one listed on the right of the row containing the toughness attribute. If you remember on the previous screen, corundum have the same symbol in the same place. This will always mean there is more information to be disclosed and that this item is clickable. The second thing I want to note is that you may always reverse course by clicking the back button for your device. It's pretty hard to get lost in MetdiaGem. Lastly, just because you say a limited amount of information visible, this may not be due to there being a limited amount of information. Some devices have a limited amount of screen real estate to work with, and going down and or clicking an item sometimes opens up more information. Just keep this in mind when you're using the app. Depending on your device, scrolling down the screen shows more corundum species detailed information grouped by type of information. Scrolling to reaction properties, we see that little icon to the right in the heat reactions row. Clicking on it allows more detailed heating reaction information to be displayed, and we can see how corundum reacts to being heated. Clicking the back button takes us back to the corundum detailed information home screen, where we can continue looking at information related to corundum as a whole. Just to reinforce the concept that you may maneuver back and forth between information, I will click the light and chemical reactions properties for corundum now. Continuing on, a unique feature of MetdiaGem is the ability to view the varieties of a species by scrolling through the species detailed information home screen to the bottom and clicking on varieties. Although you could open the navigation drawer, select varieties, and scroll down alphabetically till you find, for example, ruby, you can go to species, select corundum, scroll down to varieties, click on it, and get a list of varieties for corundum. Furthermore, clicking on ruby in this screen will take you to the variety detail information home screen for ruby, which I will cover in a moment. Moving on to varieties, I will show you some examples of the information embedded in it and the linking process between varieties and species. As I open up the navigation drawer and select varieties, you will see a list of varieties displayed in alphabetical order. One thing I will note here, if you see a single line of text in a row in the varieties list, then this information is linked to a non-specific variety of a particular species. Two text lines in a single row show information for a specific variety of a species. In addition, we have included some information for some species as a specific variety that is not official, but something we thought should be separated. For example, considering corundum, we listed lattice diffusion rubies separate from normal rubies because the information warranted separation. Continuing our demonstration, I'm going to scroll down through the varieties list and click on ruby. I'm going to temporarily pause the video here for just a moment while I scroll quickly because there are literally hundreds of varieties. Now that I've scrolled so ruby is listed, I will click it. This brings up the variety detailed information for this variety of corundum. Depending on your device, you may need to scroll to view all information and options. Let's begin with a line labeled species. Clicking on it brings up the species information for corundum from within the varieties home screen. This brings up a point I should note here. Each type of information, species related or variety related, can be reached from the other because each links to the other. By doing this, we have allowed you to access all information about a particular species or variety without having to search two different screens of information. In addition, you only need to know one piece of information to retrieve all information, such as knowing what a ruby is, but not that it is a variety of corundum, and vice versa. Now let's go back to the Variety Detailed Information home screen for Ruby and go down and select Color Information. We see that rubies are red, of course, and it has the little icon at the end of its row. This brings up this point. The same variety may come in different colors, and Met.gem lists the individual attributes for each individual color in a variety. Clicking red allows us to see the color attributes for rubies. Let's return to the Ruby Variety Detailed Information home screen by clicking the back button twice and select Confused with Information. You will see a list of other varieties that Ruby is typically confused with. Let's scroll down and click on Spinel. This brings up the Variety Detailed Information home screen for Spinel, and you can view all the same information for Spinel that you viewed for Ruby, including species-related information. Let's go back to the Ruby Detailed Information home screen by clicking the back button twice and scroll down and click Separations Information. This brings up a list of gems that Ruby typically needs to be separated from. Clicking on Rhodolite, for example, lists the tests needed to be performed to separate ruby from rhodolite. Notice the detail icon to the right of the polariscope reaction test. Clicking this shows additional information pertinent to this particular test. Let's return to the Ruby Variety Detailed Information home screen by clicking the back button 3 times and then scroll down and click Enhancement Information. This shows the typical Ruby enhancement methods. Notice that there are 3 different heating enhancement methods listed. This is not an error. Each lists a separate result for when Ruby is heated, and I will demonstrate this now. Let's go back to the Ruby Variety Detailed Information home screen by clicking the back button twice and scroll down and click on Images. As you see, a couple of example images are listed. Clicking on one displays a larger version of the selected image. Most varieties in MetdiaGem have at least one example image, and many have multiple examples included. Let's switch gears and look at the other screens now. The Melting Temperatures Information home screen lists melting temperatures for metals commonly used in the jewelry industry, along with some other useful comparison materials in both Celsius and Fahrenheit. The Specific Gravity Information home screen is the sister to the Melting Temperatures Information home screen, except it shows specific gravity information for the same materials. I will scroll through both screens now for a demonstration of the information they contain. Moving to the weight calculator. This helpful tool allows you to enter a numeric weight and select a weight measurement and the fields below automatically recalculate to the equivalent weight in their respective units. As you can see on my screen, kilograms is the currently selected field. Clicking on the number in the text box above the fields automatically brings up a numeric pad where you may enter a new number. As you type the new number, the other fields automatically update. If, for example, I click on the number field and enter 2, the other fields change. Hitting enter hides the keyboard. If I select a different unit of measure, for example carats, you will see all the fields change. One final note, the calculator is accurate to 6 decimal places, so if you get an answer of 0 while one or more of the other answers show a number, it may be possible that that particular field is out of the range of the calculator. Finally, MetdiaGem includes a gemological dictionary and includes terms used throughout this application and in gemology as a whole. The dictionary is written in such a way to explain gemological terms at both a high and low level for all to understand. For example, if we scroll down and click on refractive index, it includes both the formal definition and a description using the straw in the glass principle to reinforce the concept. It is content for both the experienced and the beginner.
That concludes my demonstration of the Android version of MetdiaGem. I hope you have found this video to be informative and enlightening. If you have any questions or comments about the software, suggestions to improve the software, or feature requests for future releases, please feel free to email me at the email address listed at the end of this video. Thank you for watching.